Good morning, folks. Happy New Year. I'm sitting here. I didn't wash this morning. I didn't shave. I just got up, came to my desk, and checked on the idiots first, just so I can get them out of the way. I didn't even go to another message board because I know that's a total waste of time. I just had to check the Skype thing because I was sending my complaint into Skype this morning. That's what I'm focused on doing. It's not even 9:30, and I'm almost finished doing up a really good answer to a question that I want to read what I've got into the camera so far because right now I'm proofreading it, trying to come to a conclusion. Um, the question, this is at Quora.com. I got my first warning for something. I don't even know what it was because they didn't say, but they saw something that was a little too insulting and warned me about the be kind, be reasonable, or be rational. I forget. It's BKBR. Um, and I know where it's at. I'm always watching for that in my responses on in a place like this, keeping it like as professional as I possibly can. As excuse me, I don't, no matter what what the trolls may say about me that I may believe in or anything else. If you didn't hear me say it myself, um, and not just the little clip, they like to take a little clip and then just put it somewhere as if it's something else. Um, like the 13-year-old girl they think I want to fuck. It's like, no, that was just I was tongue-in-cheek remark that was related to it was a discussion about whether the um, age of consent should be lowered, which I believe it should be. It needs to be. There's too many promiscuous young girls that look like they're over 18, and it hurts. It just destroys young men's lives. I think it needs to go down to at least 16. Um, and that's all. That's where I'm at least 16. And, I've been, you got to want me. You got to convince me to, like, have sex with you. And no man has ever been able to do it. And very few women. Very few women have wanted to. And I, there's only a few that wanted to that I didn't want to, that I referred to my friends that did. Uh, anyway, I want to stay away from that shit as much as possible. There is just so much going on, and that's what this question stimulated, was an answer to that. Because this is what I'm presenting myself, there, my credentials, and this is what I am. I mean, yeah, I'm a grub, and I'm sloppy, but that's the nature of hippies, especially hippies that are like running hippie houses like me and Tom Saniak, the flower man, who's like looking to retire down here by the end of the year because he don't want to have to get his place into compliance with Kenosha. Fuck that. He's had enough of that shit. He wants to come somewhere where he can just like get away from it and be himself and not have the neighbors and the heat all down on him for being something different. So anyway, I mean, like Tucson, for instance, you stay within real simple confines of the local code. Just don't be too sloppy, and you're good. Um, and I mean, like, and the real, especially with the medical marijuana thing, um, as long as you're like real discreet with your um, controlled substance exchanges, it's cool here. This place is known as Two Stone. Um, and it's mainly because it can come straight across the border to the Tejano reservation without like dealing, greasing the man at the border. Um, they just grease the Torontos, and they're probably cheaper. And I'm able to get nice weed. I mean, what I get, the cartel doesn't sell. Trust me. I mean, anybody who thinks otherwise. My medicine's coming from family, through family, and that's, I don't want to argue with anybody about that. So, the question that was asked that I'm working on answering is the music industry inherently bad for independent artists and labels? So when I went looking to Google just now, I got 1,640,000 results from my query, which was how big music kills artists and stifles creativity. You got to keep them simple. You know, just and certain words that the just totally ignores, like and, okay, you know, who, what, when, where, why, and how, if, um, you know, those kinds of questions, and just nouns and adjectives, and it'll spit back tons of shit at you. And then you go to the scholar, and you can find the peer-reviewed stuff real easily. Get out of the stuff that's all advertised pushed. So the music industry, here's where I really start. The music industry is selling images that are trendy. They do not sell the trends, but exploit them with pretty or grotesque faces and catchy tunes that barely qualify as fine art. They tend to burn their artists out, kicking them to the curb young with serious behavioral health issues like chemical dependencies and impaired rage management abilities. The 27 Club stands as testament to all young artists seeking fame and fortune through music. Aim low on your career goals and high on achieving excellence in your art. If you're any good, you will always have something to eat. You may have trouble keeping a roof over your head like Stevie Ray Vaughan did, but people are going to feed you if you play music for them. See, this is where you find whether it's reading smooth in somebody's head is how it sounds when you read it. And I just decided I wanted to add did to that line about Stevie Ray Vaughan. I pulled in as much as $35 during the lunch hour at Stone and Pennington in downtown Tucson, just bouncing phrases off the buildings, sometimes bringing people from blocks away. This is how you figure out where to put the commas, too. It's nothing compared to the exhilaration of a standing ovation at Carnegie Hall or RFK Stadium, but for a schlepper like me, it's more than enough. My case is filled as fast as $60 an hour at bar time on the weekends, and I block traffic, giving people bits of chicken wings and happy feet. I would never give up the intimacy of seeing people stunned by some incredibly beautiful lick the muse pushed through me for $1 million a night. It's become a game for me to lock on to people approaching, getting my riff in step with them, trying to get them to look up from their cell phones. Though there have been times when it was my only income, I never intended to be earning a living with music, because it's my main antipsychotic medication. Thus, not so. Thus I've gone out of my way to avoid big music biz. I gotta spell that out here. Avoid the big music business. Since graduating college, playing exclusively on street corners, in drum circles, and with jam bands in small, often private venues. Keeping the Woodstock notion in motion, the Rainbow Hippie Music and Arts Festival community is changing the world with our peace-loving music. Nobody's getting rich, and most of us need side jobs, but we have a whole lot of fun in an environment where we can explore the musical universe without being constrained by demands of the industry. Randy Clemens and bassist St. Stephen James, who have been playing together for at least the 18 years Top Dead Center has been together, can take any of the Grateful Dead's music and get the whole house up jumping without ever actually sounding like Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, and Phil Lesh, jamming the songs out in their own style, unlike many cover bands attempting to copy them note for note and never quite catching the groove that took them all the way over the edge. Today, Real Things is based in what has to be the most dynamic indie music scene in the world today. Nope. There, see, that's where you do. You find the redundancies that need to disappear. That's what happens when you read it out loud. Beyond even what Memphis or Austin have to offer to indie artists. There are seasoned performing artists in all genres holding down regular slots every night of the week at clubs all over town who are paying at least $50 per player. Most of the bigger pay-to-play venues are very fair and are able to attract indie talent from all over the world. I think the dust is up high enough where I need some loratadine. And this is my take it when there's too much dust. I'm going to need to get up from here and sweep and stuff, because that's what happens is when the doors are open, the dust ends up here because of the fans. You should see the fan blades are like just crusted. I need to clean. There's just too much to clean here for one person. And when people are forcing me to be Tom, Tom's not here, man. Tom is off fucking planet. No, this is Tommy. I'm Tommy. Tom's coming. Tom's on his way. You do not want me. You do not want to mistake me for Tom. Tom is on his way. I'm Tommy. Tom's a man with a penis, or with a vagina, and I'm a woman with a penis. So you do not want Tom. I'm telling you. Trust me. Leave Tom out of it. So anyway, The Rock is the only large local venue players will diss. I think that needs a will. And it needs a verb. Diss is an adverb. The Rialto will even let you bail if you don't sell enough tickets, like they did with the Grateful Shred. Oh shit! Oh, it's really bad. I'm gonna finish this and get the hell out of here. Get the oh boy, dust is really bad this morning. Where's the nasal spray? Oh, that door's. So I leave the doors wide open, and the wind just blows right through, and it swirls in here, because the vent's coming from here, and then the two fans swirl, and it all ends up like. And that ain't COPD, baby. If I had COPD and all this dust, they'd have to call an ambulance. Which they did for the dude next door. He finally died. Oh, a couple of times. Woo. There's only a few downsides to Tucson, and dust is one of them. The rail, and being so close to it, and the highway that comes right through here too. The Broadway crosses what's coming from over there, and it's not the big one; it's the spur. And a lot of commuter traffic. It piles up. There's an intersection. There's where the train. There's a light for the exit from the highway and where the train and the highway go over on the Broadway. Oh boy, and it piles up all the way up to Broadway sometimes. And that brings all the exhaust and everything this way. Okay, so the Rialto will even let you bail out if you don't. I mean, bail out. Gotta watch out for the hippie slang. We tend to keep it real simple. It's the kiss me. It's the Church of Subgenius, actually. That's what it is. It's kiss me, kick me, kill me, or cut me some slack. Cut me some slack, Jack. Get in the pool, fool, or get off the bus, Gus. So anyway, the Rialto will even let you bail out if you don't sell enough tickets, like they did with the Grateful Shred last week, who just went down the street and played to a packed house of flycatchers. And right after, like all the folks from a lot of folks from the 420 show just went right down the street. Top Dead Center's weekly 420 show at the Hut is like a church for the Tucson indie community. Being the only time all week, many of us have to be with people other than our families, co-workers, or total strangers, bringing artists and their followings together from all over southeastern Arizona for what Randy Clemens not wanting to be known as a Dead cover band, calls a Grateful Dead style party. Grateful Dead style party it is, with potlucks most weeks, especially when it's somebody's birthday. Randy and his longtime partner Abby Moore even held their wedding reception at the Hut on April Fool's Day this year. There are people, and extra also in there. There are people who show up to sell the usual array of hippie jewelry, tie-dyed clothing, and accessories. I sell my jewelry and photography at the 420 shows and live stream a lot of them to Facebook. Our band Found Objects of Desire, is producing a cross-country tour to get Randy back to Woodstock for the 50th reunion in 2019. Working with the Bethel locals at Hector's Inn, who have been producing the reunion since 1970, I think we need we need to cut that right there. That's a run-on sentence here. I met the Mountain Jam family. Yeah, that's these guys. I met the Mountain Jam family. That's better. That's much better. Because that's, you know, Hector's is just where, that's just their watering hole. Their production company, I think, is called Mountain Jam. It's Ben Magic and his brother, Wayne Ferris, are my contacts there. And then all the folks I know, my old friends from there, like Jimmy. I'm having trouble here. But I'm trying, my head is saying his name's not Jimmy Fox. That's right, because it's not. It's Jimmy Hawk. That's right, Jimmy Hawk. And Jolly and Joaquin, that whole crowd. I haven't seen, you know, the Woodstock family. I haven't seen like Day the barber, or what's her name, Abby and Daniel and their family, and a lot of them are dead, like Will and Lincoln. The Woodstock people. But that's what I'm going to get back there to the 50th. I was there for the 20th through the for most of the ones, you know, at about 2/3 of the ones between the 20th and the 30th, 1989 to 1999. But I got knocked off the road, and I haven't been able to go anywhere since, except where I was living, which has only been Tucson and Austin since then. As an aside, most indie production companies I've worked with will sponsor a nonprofit. We're going to be sponsoring the Transgender Community Coalition, the National Center of Transgender Equality. I think probably Debbie Jackson's Gender Incorporated. I don't know if it's nonprofit. We're only going to be sponsoring nonprofits. Okay, there's my phone. It's ringing, but where's the phone? Oh, shit. What the hell is the phone? I'm going to have to point this at the ceiling because I ain't wearing no pants. Huh. How weird. Where's the phone? It sounded like it was over here. Oh, here it is. I'll just call them back when I'll call them back when I finish reading this. 50 days for 3 days of camping on somebody's land with a good lineup can easily draw up 1,500 people and are very cheap to produce. In the old days before Woodstock, they'd pull a hay wagon out to the side of US 14, just north of Lake Cook Road, and fire it up until the state troopers came and shut it down. In 1989, the crowd was estimated to have peaked at around 50,000 on the original Woodstock site. Yeah, I think this is a good concluding paragraph right here. I like the way that looks, and then I'll get a bunch of links and to everything, you know, samples of everybody's music, this is my conclusion. As you enter the job market, think about where you want to be 40 years from now. If you want to be a professional musician, don't aim for center stage in the spotlight. It's too hot there and it will burn you out fast. Lil Peep's grandma is very worried about the grueling tour schedule his managers have him out on right now. He's only 22. If you want a career, see, here's where, and make your paragraph short. People don't like to read big walls of text. If you want a career that won't kill you, that you can retire from in good health with a decent pension, aim for seats in large orchestras or on the top of the union call list for studio and special event work. Or do like the Tucson hippie community, THC, 420 family players have done. Don't quit your day job and become a weekend warrior. Yep, happy day. Peace. Yeah, I'm going to I don't know who that was that called, but it's local. and I'm going to need to cut this off. And this is 20 minutes. That's a good length. And it's, you know, I got to, you know, this is proofreading answer to the question. So anyway, you want some faces to milk, kids? Thinks, you know, yes, I'm the clown. I'm turning with Bozo directly. I knew Bozo and Cookie both. I didn't know him, but you know, Bob Bell and whatever the other guy's name was, used to come out to the park every summer. Yeah, let's come out to I'm reverting to my roots. So I'm a Chicago kid. They used to come out to Margate Park every summer and do a circus in the park thing with the kids at the camp. And Bozo and Cookie and Mr. Ned, the whole gang. And me and my friends were the folks that were on the stage at Second City when people like John Belushi and Bill Murray and John Candy and Julia Marie Dreyfus, Elaine Boozler, Rick Moranis. I just run down this whole list. That's where we used to go a lot. Was Second City, hang out. We were the ones feeding them. Yeah, I've been pretty funny person, you know, I had to, you know. I don't want to go into that. I just want to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Happy day. Bye.